Most men forget their story, not suddenly, not deliberately. They don't tear the pages out or burn the book. They simply stop taking it down from the shelf. And over time, dust settles. We live in an age that quietly encourages this. Always forward, always upgrading, always comparing. And eventually, a man begins to feel unmoored. Not because he lacks direction, but because he's forgotten where he's already been. It is important that a man remembers his story, not to relive it, not to glorify it, but to stand on it. No matter the book it is written in, no matter the shelf it is kept on, banal, traumatic, exciting, plain. Even the dust matters. Dust is not neglect. Dust is time. Dust is age. Dust is proof that something has lasted long enough to be set down. And endurance has its own kind of meaning. There have always been men who understood this. Men who knew that forgetting who you are is easy, but remembering it, honestly, takes strength. Not the loud kind, not the performative kind. The kind that withstands time. The kind that doesn't flinch when it looks back without excuses. If a man can be consumed by one thing, so be it. If a man can be consumed by many things, so be it. And if a man finds himself consumed by nothing at all, well, so be it. These are not moral categories, they are seasons. There are periods where life narrows, focus sharpens, everything extraneous falls away. There are periods when life expands, responsibilities multiply, attention fragments. You hold many things at once, imperfectly. And then there are the quieter seasons, the ones that don't announce themselves. When the fire dims, when ambition goes quiet, when there is no clear hunger, only presence. These seasons are not failures, they are chapters, and chapters don't need permission to exist. The danger comes when a man forgets that seasons pass, when he treats one chapter as a verdict, when he believes that who he is now is who he has always been, or worse, who he will always be. That kind of forgetting is not accidental. It is encouraged. Long ago, men wrote reminders to themselves, not affirmations, reminders. That character is not built in moments of comfort. That strength is proven in continuity. That discipline is what remains when feeling departs. They understand something we've made easy to forget. That becoming requires memory. That self-overcoming only works if you remember what you have already endured. The rock understands this instinctively. It does not care how motivated you feel. It does not reward urgency. It does not punish hesitation. It responds only to contact. Hands on stone. Breath under control. Weight accepted. No story is erased here. Every climb carries every climb before it. Lately, I've noticed fatigue. Not dramatic fatigue, not collapse, just fatigue. The kind that hums quietly beneath the surface. Part of it comes from keeping a deliberately demanding schedule, chosen, not accidental, in pursuit of things that matter. Part of it comes from age. Recovery costs more now. Sleep carries weight. Ignoring pain no longer works. And part of it comes from something deeper. The understanding that energy now arrives in waves. Periods of strength, followed by periods of weariness. Breakthrough, then consolidation. This is not decline. It is rhythm. A man who forgets his story misreads fatigue. He sees it as weakness, as proof of inadequacy, as evidence that he is falling behind. But a man who remembers his story recognizes fatigue for what it is: information. A signal of effort already spent. A receipt for work already done. Sometimes fatigue means you are closer than you think, even if the result hasn't arrived yet. Remembering who you are takes strength, because it requires honesty. It requires facing the parts of the story that don't fit neatly into a narrative. Failures, false starts, long stretches of uncertainty. But staying true to that story, that requires courage. Because once you remember who you are, you can no longer pretend to be someone else. There comes a moment in every life, quiet and unannounced, where a man realizes that certain lines, once crossed, cannot be uncrossed. That some decisions commit him not just to action, but to identity. From that point on, movement matters. Not speed and not spectacle. Direction. The heart knows the way. Not emotionally, not sentimentally. The heart knows the way because it has been paying attention longer than the mind. It recognizes alignment. It senses deviation. The mind has the tools, strategy, skill, judgment. But tools are useless without direction. And the soul? The soul waits for coherence, for the man to stop fracturing himself into versions meant for approval. This is why remembering your story matters. Without it, the heart hesitates, the mind overworks, the soul remains restless. But with it, something settles. You stop demanding that today justify your entire life. You stop asking every chapter to redeem the book. You understand that meaning accumulates, like calluses, like chalk on stone, like weathered rock. There is a calm that comes from knowing where you've been, not pride, grounding. You move differently. You speak less. You conserve energy. You choose more carefully. Not because you fear loss, but because you know the cost to waste. The rock does not ask who you used to be. It does not care who you think you should be. It meets you where you are. And in that meeting, your story does not disappear. It integrates. You don't need a new story. You don't need reinvention. You don't need to erase chapters that don't photograph well. You need to remember. To take the book down from the shelf. To feel its weight. To acknowledge the dust. Time lived. Effort spent. Lessons paid in full. Remember your story, not to dwell in it, not to worship, but to stand on it. Because a man who remembers who he is doesn't panic when energy dips, doesn't collapse when progress slows, and doesn't abandon himself when silence arrives. He knows the rhythm, and he keeps moving, quietly, deliberately, one hold at a time. If this video resonated with you, please like and share this video and subscribe to the channel. It would really help me to get my message out to those who need to hear it. Thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and take care out there in the daring unknown.